Good afternoon all. Previous lecture we have discussed with how the introduction of the how the blood clotting occurs. Now let me tell you in detail of that. Blood clotting mechanism it is in the three phases. First, formation of thromboplastin see, actually the blood clotting mechanism is in the sequential manner. There is a particular sequential manner is there, and here for that 17 factors are required. So this all 17 factors today I will tell you the names of it. Fine. And today I will explain the difference between hemophilia and hemorrhage. So here the blood clotting mechanism consists three phases: formation of the thromboplastin, formation of thrombin, and the last one, formation of fibrin. So previously I told you that at the rupture site of the artery, fine, platelets are activated, and here after activation of the platelets, first thromboplastin forms, then after formation of the thromboplastin, thrombin is formed, and then at the last fibrin is formed. So here for that main 13 factors are present in blood plasma. Yes, remaining other factors are also present in blood plasma. So total 17 factors are present. Let us taking in detail. Factor number: inactivated form, activated form. Fine. Here majority factor number I will give in Roman numbers. First factor, fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is in inactivated form, whereas fibrin is activated form. Okay, so first is fibrinogen, second is prothrombin, the activated form, that is thrombin, third is thromboplastin, it is activated form. Fine. So first is fibrinogen. Generally 13 factors are present in inactivated form. Generally, now I will tell you the 13 factors. The 13 factors are present in inactivated form. When the artery is ruptured, then and then this all the factors are activated, and gradually it forms the thromboplastin first, then thrombins, then fibrin. Okay, and then fibrin is accumulated at the rupture site of the artery, clot occurs, and that is known as thrombus, and that's why all these platelets are known as thrombocytes. So third is thromboplastin, fourth is calcium, fifth proacelerin, dear all students, please now note down here. Here fifth factor is proacelerin, and activated fifth factor is sixth factor, acelerin. Fine. So now sixth is here. I will write seventh one, proconvertin. Activated seventh factor. So proconvertin, also known as convertin, also you write that in this way. Okay, so pro means inactivated form. So seventh factor is proconvertin. Eighth factor AHG, anti-hemophilic globulin. Activated AHG is activated one. So now here onwards all are activated form. Fine. So eighth factor is anti-hemophilic globulin. Ninth factor Christmas factor. Activated Christmas factor. So here you write that activated 9. Now onwards. Tenth factor is Stewart factor. Eleventh factor PTA, plasma thromboplastin antecedent. Active PTA is the activated form of the 11th factor. 12th factor Edman factor. And last one, 13th factor, FSF, fibrin stabilizing factor. Activated FSF. So these 13 factors are useful for clotting of blood. So here all these 13 factors are activated simultaneously, and then one by one all the factors are joined together in this sequential manner and clot will occur. Now other 4 factors. So 13 factors are inactivated normally in blood plasma. Whereas other 4 factors are vitamin K, phycobilin, heparin, defibrination, and hirudin. Okay, so one thing we had already discussed in 4th chapter, that hirudinaria, blood sucking leech. If anybody has bleeding disorder, then we give the treatment by hirudinaria. So blood sucking leech can be put on the skin. Then through these suckers, the leech can come in contact with the body, blood. Now this leech add hirudin inside the blood, and gradually the blood clotting disorders can gradually cure. So hirudin is secreted by hirudinaria, known as blood sucking leech, which we had already discussed in 4th chapter. Now I want to tell you about the heparin and vitamin K. Heparin acts as a coagulant as well as anticoagulant both. So understand it properly. In the normal stage of the artery in the flowing blood, it acts as an anticoagulant. So in flowing blood in the artery, it prevents coagulation. Then it acts as a coagulant at rupture site in injured artery. Okay, so when artery is ruptured, artery is injured at the rupture site or at the injury site, the blood is flowing. So at that time it acts as a coagulant. Now hemophilia. See, actually hemophilia is bleeding disorder. Let me explain this in detail. Hemophilia. See, hemophilia is also known as bleeder's disease. It is inherited genetic disorder since birth. If parents consist hemophilia, yes, here hemophilia means bleeder's disease. So here bleeding is prolonged. In another way, we say that blood clotting time is more. Right? So here hemophilia is of three types. Hemophilia A, due to deficiency of the eighth factor. See, if in the person anti-hemophilic globulin is there. So in the presence of anti-hemophilic globulin, hemophilia cannot occur. This is anti-hemophilic globulin, so it prevents hemophilia inside our body. I mean to say, it promotes normal blood clotting time. If the person has deficiency of the 8th factor, that is known as hemophilia A. Hemophilia B is also known as Christmas disease. So it is due to deficiency of the 9th factor. You know that the 9th factor is Christmas factor. So due to the deficiency of the Christmas factor, hemophilia B occurs. Fine. Whereas hemophilia C, it is caused by deficiency of the 11th factor. So again, what is the difference between hemophilia and hemorrhage? See, now I am talking about vitamin K. Hemophilia, in that bleeding time is more, so we say that clotting time is more, but it is due to the deficiency of the particular factor. If due to the 8th factor, hemophilia A, due to the 9th factor, hemophilia B, also known as Christmas disease, or due to the deficiency of the 11th factor, hemophilia C. Deficiency of the vitamin K. If the person has less amount of the vitamin K in the blood, excessive blood loss is there, and that causes hemorrhage. So hemorrhage is caused by hypovitaminosis, hypo below the normal level. It occurs due to the hypovitaminosis, whereas hemophilia, it is genetic disorder. So if the person has hemorrhage, by application of the vitamin K, you are able to cure the person, but it is unable to cure the hemophilia. Okay. So here blood clotting mechanism is over. All the topics of blood related, fine, all the topics of related to blood are over right now. Okay, now start with the lymph. Okay, so after completion of the blood related all the topics, Now the last topic, that is lymph. Lymph is tissue fluid. According to the site, of location where it is present, fine, it is two types: interstitial cell between two cells, or inside the tissue. Okay. The lymph is also known as interstitial fluid. Why? Here it is present between the two cells. That's why it is known as interstitial fluid. Also known as tissue fluid. Fine. So generally what happens here, carefully understand it. Assume that this is the small specimen of the tissue. How the lymph is formed, that we want to discuss it right now. Fine. Now here, at the one side of the tissue, one artery is there. Suppose this is the artery. Artery supply all the cells in this way. So here generally what happens, that artery release the blood. Yes, these are the capillaries. So we have discussed that in the fourth chapter, that closed circulatory system. So next topic is circulatory system. So there are two types of circulatory system. We have discussed that, open and closed. Closed circulatory system, in that capillaries are there. So capillaries are the narrowest blood vessel in our body. Through this blood capillaries only we obtain all the substances from our blood. So artery gives the so many branches at the tissue level. So each and every cell is supplied by the capillaries, but the blood is now released between the two cells. Okay, now my question is that, are all the cells can obtain all the components from the blood? No. If through capillary the components are supplied to the each and every cells, but actually blood is secreted between the two cells space. So the space between the two cells known as interstitial space, intracellular. Okay, intracellular between the two successive cells. So from this blood the required components can be obtained by the cells. Remaining components are present as it is. So required components can be taken by the cells. Remaining portion of the blood is remain dead. That is accumulated. That is accumulated and sent in the specialized vessel other than the artery and the vein. It is known as lymphatic duct. Again, so through this artery gives the branch, that is narrowest branch known as capillaries. So through these capillaries, artery provide all the nourishment to the each and every cell. Now it releases the blood in the intercellular space. The cells obtain the required components of the blood. Remaining components are present in as it is condition. Fine. Now this is known as interstitial fluid. If in between the cells the fluid is collected and sent it to the specialized duct, specialized tube other than the artery and vein, this is known as lymphatic duct, and inside the lymphatic duct lymph is there. So lymph and interstitial fluid are nothing different. Interstitial fluid is there between the two cells, but lymph is present in the lymphatic duct. Fine. So here I am drawing with the black color. So from the actually much more network structure is there here. So understand it properly. So that is known as lymphatic duct or lymph vessel. You say that this is the artery, this is the cell, and this is the intercellular space. Fine. Now, most important one. What is the difference between lymph and blood plasma? Lymph and blood plasma both are mostly same, but the lymph consists less amount of the protein compared to blood plasma. Yes, you know that in blood plasma we have plasma proteins. So lymph possesses less amount of the protein than the blood plasma, and it consists very less number of the blood cells. It consists majority The lymph possesses 99% of the lymphocytes. And you know that the lymphocytes are of two types. So generally parallel to the arterial system and venous system. Yes, in each and every organ. In each and every organ, artery is parallel to the vein. Artery and veins are always parallel to each other. But along with that, another duct is also there, that is lymphatic duct. So always three ducts are present simultaneously in each and every area of the body. So in lymph, 99% cells are lymphocytes, and these lymphocytes are B lymphocyte and T lymphocytes that we had already discussed in the previous class. But remaining 1% possess other blood cells apart from the lymphocytes. Very less number of RBC and WBCs are present in list for 1%. Fine? Okay. In different areas of our body, we have lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are very small structure which collect the lymph, filter it and transfer the lymph in the forward area. So lymph nodes receive the lymph and add lymphocytes inside the lymph. So now what you have to remember, before entry in lymph node, lymph lacks of lymphocytes. Before entry of lymph in the lymph node, lymphocytes are not present there. After entry of the lymph into lymph node, now the lymph node add the lymphocytes. As a result, what happened? So after entry of the lymphocytes inside the lymph, if the lymph possesses any bacteria or virus or any type of the pathogen which is harmful for our body, so lymphocytes kill them. In this way, the lymphocytes protect our body against the particular disease. So that's why lymphatic system, so lymph ducts, lymph nodes, all are arranged in a very complex manner inside our body, that is known as lymphatic system. It provides defense mechanism in the body. It provides resistance power against the disease, as well as you know that the largest lymphatic duct, that is known as lacteal in the villi, lacteal nearer to the villi in the intestine. Okay, so for absorption of the lipid products, So it provides resistance power against the disease. Number 2, it absorbs the lipid from the intestinal villi, and third is transferred other nutritive components also, like vitamins, other products throughout our body. Okay, so this is about the link. I hope you understand this topic. Thank you very much to all.